Matt Damon starring, George Clooney directing, and the Coen brothers writing. What could go wrong?
Mr. Lodge, I have a Lieutenant Hightower.
Tell him I'm not in.
You're on speaker, sir.
Suburbicon stars Matt Damon and Julianne Moore, as well as many others, of course, in a Coen brothers written movie from director George Clooney. Now, I've enjoyed Clooney's movies before. This one is rather dark and comedic. Can it pull both of those things off? Here's 5 things you might want to know about Suburbicon. Oh, this is a mixed bag. Now, the sense I'm getting since I've written this review and looked at other people's is that I think I might like this more than most, but let's talk about the specifics, because there's definitely good stuff and bad stuff here. The good is this: Coen brothers know how to write dialogue, a very specific, quirky, interesting type of dialogue. There were character moments in this movie that if you didn't know the Coen brothers had written it, you'd be like, man, this is a Coen brothers movie, because it just feels so perfect for them. And I love that. I love the way they write. I love the way they turn phrases. I love the way they embody characters. All of that is here, and that was a very enjoyable part of the movie for me. The other thing I have to talk about is Oscar Isaac. He is so good in this movie. Yes, I know, he's just in for a short scene, and when somebody can come in and steal the movie like that, I have to mention it. I'm a huge fan of his, whether it be from Star Wars or Ex Machina or Inside Llewyn Davis. He's done such a wide variety of interesting characters. He's one of those actors right now that I'm just excited to see what they do next. And what I can tell you is he's phenomenal here, even for the short time he's in it. Okay, so let's start getting into some of the mixed bag stuff. First, let's talk with how this movie chooses to surprise the audience. It's obvious to me from the beginning they were going for a very Hitchcock feel to what's going on here. Not just in the way certain shots are shot, not just in the way the music cues are used in this, but in the way the movie wants to use the camera to reveal information, to surprise you with a moment. When that works, it's really good. There are 2, 3, maybe even 4 different moments where I'm like, that's a beautiful use of visual storytelling to reveal a piece of information to us. However, there are also 2, 3, 4, maybe more times when the surprise isn't a surprise, when you're ahead of the movie. And some of that can be okay. Hitchcock did this too. He likes giving the audience information ahead of time so they can live with that information. But the way this movie did it, the balance was off. It wasn't information that was valuable for us to know in a tension sort of way. It was information that would have been more valuable if we had been surprised by it. I'm not sure if I'm being totally clear on this. Just the way this movie used surprises was so off balance. I have to give it credit where it's due and also take away the points that it deserves to have taken away because it just didn't work overall. And the other warning I have to give, the other yellow I will give is, man, is this movie dark. Now, you think, oh, I'm going to a dark comedy. I get it. I know it's going to be dark. No, I don't know that you know how dark this movie is. It's uncomfortably dark at times. Now, I've built up a little bit of a tolerance to this kind of film, and I actually kind of enjoy its ability to live in the violence or darkness of humanity in a almost lighthearted way. But again, there's just some sort of conflict at work here that the tone doesn't seem to match up all the time. Quirky, funny characters, a la Hudsucker Proxy, a la, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, those kind of things. And then also just a dark, not just what's happening, but the spirit of it, the malevolence of it, that discounts the quirkiness in a way that I think throws the tone off kilter. So again, it's just not sitting right with me, and I think a lot of that has to do with the way the darkness is used in this film. And finally, let's talk about the big negative in this movie. It has a structure issue, a big-time structure issue with a secondary story, a racial storyline that, as moving and as interesting as it could be, doesn't find itself connected to our main story in any kind of interesting or compelling way. Now, maybe it was over my head. Maybe I missed it. But this secondary storyline, which feels like a primary storyline in the way it's presented, just never quite connects to what's going on in the rest of the movie. In fact, it feels like a different film in a lot of ways. I just don't think they nailed what they were going for with that, and I think the movie suffers greatly because of it. Overall, I feel like Suburbicon is one of those movies that has a lot of promise, a lot of talent behind it, but just couldn't quite find the right mix to come through in the end. I gave it a B-. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. We'll get to the best ever challenge here in a bit. Before we do, let's connect further. Hit me up on Twitter, Aaron Dicer, AARONDICER. Would love to chat there. Also the podcast, it's called SiftPop, SIFTPOP. You can search for that in whatever podcast player you use. It's a weekly podcast. We have a lot of fun. Also subscribe on YouTube, comment on YouTube. Let's have some fun here as well. And if you want to support, I appreciate it. It's at patreon.com/yourmoviefriend. $3 a month, and it's really got some fun perks there. It's been kind of humbling these last few weeks with what's been going on there. So it's good times. Thank you so much for your help. It means the world to me. All right, on to the best ever challenge. This is where you name the best movie ever in a particular category. And then also you try to identify my choice based on a clue. Let's do best, since we praised him, Oscar Isaac. Best Oscar Isaac movie ever. Now, if you're worried about not being able to guess mine, it's okay. Something will bail you out at the last second. Take a guess at mine in the comments. First person to get it right will get a point. I'd also love to see your choice there as well. I love it when I give abstract clues. It's one of my favorite things. As always, here's a few extra seconds to hit subscribe on YouTube. Just click my face.